They were not on holidays. They were not on some frolic of their own. They were not in transit for private business. They were on duty, some of them in uniform. They were under instruction and service to the Republic. They were en route to Obuasi on a national assignment when their military helicopter that they were aboard lost contact with radar and crashed. The grief has since been immense. The loss, some have said, incalculable. But their legacy must not be forgotten. And so on Ghana Connect tonight, we talk to those who knew them, those who worked with them, and we reflect on their lives of service right after these messages.
Momo. It has made life happen in lots of good ways.
Mr. Kwanzaa, Mensaka insurance claim no.
It has put together beautiful weddings. It has filled the bellies of boys at their favorite wachi joint.
My guy, stop. Who they chop cancel these days?
It has made millions of businesses possible.
Mensaka no. We are back in business.
With just a few taps, money moves faster, easier, and safer. Momo understands the weight of your trust in us. We continuously enhance security with features like self-paying reset to help you protect your money. Momo will only call you with 0244 300,000. No MTN or Momo staff will call or ask for your PIN or one-time password. Do not transfer funds to anyone whose identity you have not verified. Do not approve any prompts you have not initiated. Momo, still Wunsaka.
Son, we are so proud of you for setting up this hospital. I really love those hospital beds and waiting chairs. By the way, did you import them?
No, Dad, I didn't. I actually got them from Kingdom Books and Stationery right here in Ghana.
Wow. We also bought our office supplies, safes, executive desks and chairs from Kingdom, and they gave us expert advice on how to set up our office.
Guys, that makes 3 of us. I also got our sofa and bedroom sets, plus our dining hall furniture for our new home from Kingdom.
Wow, Mom, that makes 4 of us. I usually get my stationery items from Kingdom, and my teacher also mentioned that our classroom furniture was provided by Kingdom.
So there you have it. Whenever you're thinking about setting up an office or acquiring furniture for your home, etc., Kingdom Books and Stationery should be your first port of call. With over 40 years experience in the industry, we stock and supply a wide variety of globally sourced office and home furniture, stationery and equipment. Visit our head office, Takweje, Osu near the Osu Cemetery, Tema near Community 4, Takoradi opposite Vijay Mays Plaza, Cape Coast University Bookshop, Spintex Road near Absa Bank, Atomic Centerpoint Mall, Winneba University Campus, KNUST, the University Bookshop, and Santasi in Kumasi. You can also visit our shop online, www.kingdomstoreonline.com. Hurry while stock lasts. For further inquiries, contact us on 050-162-0810 or 0302-764-101. Email info@kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, where quality and affordability is assured. Terms and conditions apply.
M&C Group is a leading investment holding company with expertise in minerals and food commodity trading, precious minerals refinery, real estate development, and logistics and energy. With individually registered companies, our headquarters is located in Accra, Ghana, with operational offices in Dubai, UAE, Hong Kong, and Guangzhou in China, Johannesburg in South Africa, Virginia in the USA, and Milan, Italy. We connect business markets and drive growth. Trust us to maximize value in every deal. Call us on 0302 551 917 or 0302 551 918 or send us an email mncgroup@mncgroupgh.com. MNC Group, totally reliant.
Ama, big news! Star Oil is now the largest oil marketing company in Ghana.
Wow, that's huge!
Yes, so the largest distributor of petroleum products in Ghana. Ever since I switched to Star Oil, my car runs smoother. The fuel lasts longer, no strange engine sound, just clean, powerful performance.
Oh, same here. I used to refill every 3 days until I switched to Star Oil. Now, my fuel lasts way longer. I don't know what magic is inside, but my car loves it.
Exactly. It's not magical. From Accra to Kumasi to Tamale, Star Oil day everywhere with 240 filling stations and counting. That's why more Ghanaians are choosing Star Oil.
Hey, my tank is almost empty. I am heading to Star Oil right now before the queue starts.
I'm right behind you, Amma.
We set out with a mission to set better and lead boldly. We're proud to say we are Ghana's #1 oil marketing company. To our loyal Star savers across the country, thank you for believing in us. Star Oil, quality and affordable fuels for all.
Pepsodent, cavity protection.
This advert is FDA approved.
Every mosquito study run away. Sasso, mi se come tonton preko. Sasso, kum tonton preko. Nani sham ne die e demonstronko.
This advert is FDA approved.
On the show tonight, we remember Dr. Edward Omani-Boamah, Ghana's Minister for Defense. That man who had served in multiple capacities, medical doctor, communications minister, and who, in his current role, brought some calm, intellectual depth, and strategic foresight to the oversight of our armed forces. In an era of regional insecurity, Dr. Omani-Boamah was a steady hand in difficult times, a patriot who believed in disciplined, modern, and democratic military. We also remember Murtala Mohammed Ibrahim, Minister for Environment, Science and Technology. He was a tireless voice for the environment and a passionate, unapologetic servant of the people. Being it on the floor of Parliament or on the streets with his constituents, Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed stood for accountability and justice. We also remember Alhaji Muniru Mohammed, the acting Deputy National Security Coordinator, a former Minister for Agric and a man deeply familiar with both the machinery of the state and the needs of ordinary citizens. He was known as a bridge builder and a quiet problem solver, and also a team player. His work often went unseen in terms of those of us in the media as a Deputy National Security Coordinator, but his impact was felt in every corner of Ghana's national security architecture. We also remember Samuel Abuaje, a Deputy National NADMO Coordinator and NDC's former parliamentary candidate for Boise East, a man who had given his life to politics, public safety, and service delivery. He was such a big guy in that Obuasi enclave. We also remember him. We also remember Samuel Sapon, NDC's National Vice Chairman. He was also a former Ashanti Regional Minister. He was a seasoned politician, a statesman, and a man with deep ties across the political divide. Samuel Sapon embodied the idea that politics at its best is about people, not power. His presence, especially in the Ashanti region, was a symbol of balance, dialogue, and community. We remember the 3 brave members of the Ghana Armed Forces who gave their lives in the line of duty. Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala, Flying Officer Mane Chum Ampedu, and Sergeant Ernest Adomensa. They were pilots and crew, but above all, they were soldiers. Disciplined, loyal, courageous. It is hard to imagine those final moments in the cockpit, but we know this. They gave their lives doing what soldiers are trained to do, to carry others through safety and in danger.
Thinking of death. And that day, when I said, I think, what can you feel?
Alhaji Muniru Mohammed Lemonad, Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator and former Minister for Food and Agriculture, Dr. Samuel Sapon, Vice Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, and Mr. Samuel Abuaji, a former parliamentary candidate. Leader Peter Bafemi Anala, Flying Officer Manin Chum Ampedu, and Sergeant Ernest Ado Mensah. The President and government extends our condolences and sympathies to the families of our comrades.
To you that what you saw a while ago in those sacks are the remains of senior officers that were involved in the crash this morning.
Have a conversation about their lives, who they were, with people who knew them up close and personal. Connecting with us on Zoom, Dr. Winfred Koleteba. He is the CEO of the Health Facilities Regulatory Authority. He knew Edward Omane-Boamah, also a medical doctor, very closely, and is connecting with us on Zoom. Doc, it's good to have you connect with us.
Thank you very much, and good evening to our cherished listeners.
Also, Awudu Ismail is also on Zoom with us. He is from the Amenfi East and has had encounters with both ministers, in particular Omane-Boamah and Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed. He's also connecting with us. Awudu Ismail, it's good to have you connect with us.
Oh, thank you for having me, my brother.
Also on Zoom, Julius Kwame Anthony. He works at the Jubilee House with the presidency. And in his encounter, in fact, I think 2-3 weeks ago, when Dr. Omane-Boamah took the stage for the Government Accountability Series, I'm sure he was there. And he also knows them very much. Julius, it's good to have you connect with us.
Kwaku, it's good to be here.
And then
or is it?
Great. I have Philip Kwame Saba in the studio with us. He also knew them and he's connecting with us. Philip, it's good to have you connect with us.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, nice meeting you too.
Right. So let me start with you, Dr. Winfred Koleteba. But we also have the Deputy Director of IT and Elections, currently the CEO of GIFIC, Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer, and perhaps one of the very persons that worked very closely with Dr. Edward Omane-Boamah in the NDC's election directorate, is connected with us on phone. Doc, it's good to have you connect with us.
All right, this Tanko Computer. I'm right.
Great. And Doc, I recall on Wednesday when this news broke, when our colleague Sarah, we tried to reach you on phone. I mean, you were distraught, you were devastated. You worked very closely with him. It's been 3 days on. I know the pain having lessened. At any moment you think of this, it still hits and it still strikes just as the first time you heard of it. But you like I said, you worked very closely with Doc. I wonder what your reflections are on his life a couple of days down the line now.
It has not been easy for us as a directorate. I'm referring to the election directorate of the National Democratic Congress to lose our boss in this manner. Since Wednesday, it has not been easy for us. And personally to me, knowing who Dr. Omane-Boamah was, to the NDC, the government of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and to me personally, on that fateful day, we had a meeting with him, discussion over Akotia in the morning. And he gave us directions as to how to go about it, you know, in his usual best. One of the best brains that you can think of when it comes to strategy, election management. We are here to get it started. Only in the next 2-3 hours, we were hit with a terrible news of his demise. It's unbelievable.
Julius, I mean, I wonder if you can take it from there. You also knew the man in particular, and like Doc Ashitan Computer talks about how the NDC preparing for Akwetia. He was definitely
Mm.
Director of Election, even though he has taken on a new role as Minister for Defense. He was in the thick of affairs, and how this came such a shocking one for everybody.
Kwaku, in this enterprise of leadership and politics, especially the politics of the NDC, there are very few people that I deliberately sought their attention. I wanted them to notice me. Dr. Mani Buama is one of such people. I would make effort, try to reach out, call, and all of those things. The day that I had the opportunity, or the day that he finally noticed me, was somewhere in September 2024. In the other times, we would just meet like all other young people in the party that those in leadership would encounter at the party's headquarters when we were doing coalition of pink sheets after 2020. Dr. Rashid was there at the time as well. He would come around. But at UPSA, one of the best moments for me was when Doc would rise with the crowd. He was in the front row and cheer me on. After that, he said that the last time I hear anyone speak like this was Obama in 2008. I should reach out to him. So I took the opportunity. I tested Doc on 6th September. And I mean, his words that was the peak of my pride at that moment. I used them to remind him that I was the one. And I'm the gentleman you said spoke like Obama. And from then we would talk. Doc would tell me you have great potentials and we need to nurture it and all. We got busy in the lead up to the elections where our conversations were cut short. But after we won, we resumed talking again. At Jubilee House, when he came, my immediate boss, the Honorable Felix Kwaku Asante, reintroduced me to him again. And it was in relation to work staff details reserved. And he was like, oh, I know Julius. He does very well and all. That his approach to politics was the reason why I was interested in getting the man's attention, the gentility with which he approached it. And also the fact that he brings a lot of depth to issues. You remember the lead up to 2024 election, the issues he raises with concern to our electoral system and all of that, all backed by research and supported by deep thoughts and analysis. To lose such a man like that is so painful, my brother. It's really painful. And Donald Murtala Mohammed, while I was serving in Parliament, I've encountered him a number of times, you know, and he's one of those people that when he starts speaking, you pause to listen. All that intellect, all those years of dedication to learning, just gone within the blink of an eye. It's so painful. And if I feel like this, I wonder how immediate family, wives, children, parents would be feeling in this very moment. It's a difficult moment, and I can only pray that the Almighty God would touch their hearts and comfort them. I can only pray.
I'll do.
My brother, greetings to your cherished viewers and listeners. Since Wednesday, I am very devastated. I am down. I am broken because the two gallant members of the NDC has fallen within a twinkle of an eye, because Dr. Mani Buama and Honorable Murtala Mohammed has been my childhood heroes, and I've encountered them with a couple of times. So waking up to lose them in such situation, one would say that it was very cataclysmic news that it hit Ghanaian people. And we think that this should be a wake-up call for the presidents and the states should set up that this terrorist event doesn't happen again. And going to the their lives and personalities. Honorable Murtala Muhammad has been a very good father of mine. Growing up in my upbringing, he has been my mentor. I've been with him for a couple of days. His in-depth knowledge, his caliber, how he treats others is marvelous. So losing him in such situation, I cannot go back. But even me and the people around me, whilst we are down, I'm imagining how the family members in Tamale. I've been in Tamale Central before. I was staying at Changle, where he used to come, his grandmother's place. How he's loved in the community. I'm wondering how and why the people of Tamale will, embrace this devastating news. So I will not say much on Honorable Murtala Mohammed. And going back to Honorable Dr. Manebo, as my friend and brother Julius Kwame Anthony said, rightly put, he has been a fantastic man in this nation building. You see how his depth knowledge shaped the politics in our country, the electoral reforms and what have you. And one man and his team standing on the electoral commission to do the right thing, not for partisan or political gains, but for the goodwill of our dear nation. I think that we've lost a very good patriots who are very committed to the cause of the building of Ghana, and being what the doctors would say that a very compassionate personality. I think that we cannot lose him in such a situation. But as a Muslim, one thing that is for sure is that we leave everything unto God, because there is a saying, a commonly saying or an adage in the Muslim community which talks about inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun. That's from Almighty Allah did we come, and from Him shall we return. So we leave it to the cause that it is Allah who gives and He who takes. But some deaths are order.
I mean, it hurts. I see that. I see the emotions that you expressed. A lot of people are, still struggling to come to terms with what we have seen. Dr. Winfrey Koloteba, I wonder how far you go back with Dr. Manebwama.
Yeah, thank you. And let me start by saying that my condolences to Ghanaians. We've lost 8 gallant men. And I think that is the right time to say that God strengthen the family, the whole nation for this great Lord. Dr. Manebwama has been my classmate in the medical school. So we all attended the University of Ghana Medical School. And we all started from Legon campus before we moved to Korle Bu. And he's a great guy. He's a gem. Although we're in the same class, he's a bit older than me. And so I take advice from him. I remember there was a day we were in the bus from Legon to Korle Bu. I was the class chaplain. So in the mornings, we shared the word of God. And after preaching, I must say, I was younger. And I used part of the preaching to settle some scores, if you understand what I'm talking about. So afterwards, he called me aside and said, "No, I think you shouldn't say it like this and like that again. If you want to preach, do it. If you have issues with someone, you need to do it right." And I took it in good faith. That's just who he is. And we've been through medical school. The reason why I say he's a great guy, medical school is very demanding. You are always writing tests and everything. This man has unique leadership skill to the extent that even in the heat of medical school, he still contested for Nook's president. And when he told us he was going for it, we were all wondering, even those who do not have any position, we are struggling in medical school. How do you combine this? And they're going to campaign all over Ghana to become next president. But that's who he is. The man did it, very strategic, and he was able to win as a medical student. That was a great feat. That is the kind of man we're talking about. You know, on Tuesday, just this week, Tuesday, the president chaired the African Health Sustainability Conference. Dr. Omani Buama was there. Most of us appointees were all. On Wednesday, we had the National Vaccines Institute. We have the National Vaccine Investment Forum. We were expecting Dr. Omani Buama to be there. Kempiski, the president was there. We were all the appointees in the Ministry of Health. We were all, and we knew as a medical doctor it was going to be there. But we didn't see it. So I was there. And then one of our other appointees called. And I said, where is Dr. Manya? I said, oh, no, I don't know. I didn't even know he had gone for a program. So we were all there. Then around 12 o'clock, then we started hearing the news. Then one of my colleagues called me and said, do you know what happened? I said, no. He said, our brother. I said, what happened? He said, plane crash. I said, helicopter crash. I said, how? Right from there, it was a big shock to me. I couldn't do anything. I just went to my office, sat down a bit, and I just packed my things and I went. It was a big loss to all of us. Dr. Manibu Amma had been a friend, a senior brother, and actually for us, doctors who have gone into politics, we look up to him. He's our mentor when it comes to politics. A very fine gentleman, a great strategy, a very good doctor. That is what Ghana has lost.
Philip, I see the mood and how, I mean, collective of the way Ghanaians have come around to celebrate these lives, people from across political lines, everybody coming around to celebrate them. You also knew them, and you knew some of them up close and personal. I know it's difficult for everybody, but what have been your biggest takeaways from some of these conversations that have been had since Wednesday?
Good evening once again. I mean, it's a very devastating situation for each and every one of us. Since the news came on Wednesday, life has not been the same. I mean, knowing these people very closely, and some of them from the stories that we hear or we are hearing later on after the death, talk about the flying officer, the sergeant, and the squadron leader. They have very, 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 very personal and intimate stories that are coming after the accident, and the fact that some lost the brother and going to bury the brother and then just came back to meet this untimely death, and the other one who got married and then just all of a sudden in 3 weeks or 4 is leaving that beautiful woman out there as a widow. And then the fact that one of them actually lost the wife who has only a month or 2 months old child. These things are not pleasant things that you would want to hear. These are not things that you would even wish your enemy. Kwaku, I got to know Dr. Omani Buama from Auntie Joyce Bawa Montari. Working close with Auntie Joyce, you would get to understand the industry Dr. Omani Buama brings to the table in terms of anything. Anytime you are talking with Auntie Joyce, something comes up and you suggest something or there's something going on, he said, no, wait, I have to consult Doc on this. Then quickly she would need to call Omani, and it's like the man is a medical doctor, but she's a juggernaut in all the fields. I mean, talk of agriculture, talk of politics, talk of governance, talk of everything, even how to manage your personal life. Dr. Omani Buama has something to say, and I got to admire him through Auntie Joyce and how very close and many other things. Kwaku, it's a very sad situation. See, I've been working with Honorable Bernard Anyafo in the Parliament since 2021. Kwaku, if you come to Parliament and they don't tell you that Honorable Mutala is an MP, you have been a parliamentary correspondent over the years. If they don't tell you that Honorable Mutala is an MP, it will be hard for you to know that he's indeed an MP, because how he relates to everybody that you see in the house. You see him mingling with everybody, and he's one of those MPs that there is an elevator in the parliament. That's one key thing that I keep remembering ever since. There is an elevator in parliament that is tagged MPs only. And most MPs, of course, per protocol demands, they don't allow workers, staffs, and many other people to join them. But Honorable Mutala is not one of those people. I mean, it is not to set him aside to say that he's doing something or he's breaking the rules, but looking at the fact that he doesn't even allow to be called an honorable member. When you see him, he speaks pidgin with you. He's like, Charlie, how be everything, what's up, and everything. And whatever funny conversations you are having, either a boy or girl conversation, anything, he would also just say something to keep you going. I mean, once a while, he would tell you that, hey, Val's Day is coming. I remember there was one day it was like, Val's Day is coming, then the boys should come for chocolate for their girlfriends. And people were like, oh, I'm not married. It was like, you have girlfriends, come for chocolate. And we all went there and he gave us chocolate. And it was like, it's just one of those things. But I mean, this is not to say that you are remembering him for some of these trivial things, but this is how close he got to some of us, and this is how human, before being a politician, he's a human being, and this is someone who is very close to everybody. So the situation is more devastating in the sense that, in as much as they are government officials, they didn't die or they didn't pass on when they were sick or they were home or they are doing something else. They were in line of government duty, trying to stop a canker, trying to stop something that is killing millions, and to get to realize that they died in the way or in the process of trying to save all of us as Ghanaians. This is not a death that came because they were selfish or they are doing something. And to know that some of these people were going there to represent some people. So my special prayer and then thoughts goes all the way to the president, who has asked them to represent him, or who has brought this initiative and all these things. So Kwaku, it is not an easy time to be a Ghanaian at the moment. So you realize that even if we that are outside feel this way, can you just imagine how people that are more closer? You know, I keep thinking.
I've seen the video of the first lady. I mean, because they worked very closely with Omani Boma. Omani Boma was very close with the president, Murtala Mohammed. I mean, from his days as deputy minister.
How someone who depends solely on Omani or Murtala or chairman or any of them for livelihood, their life is being shattered. Yeah. Someone's shining star, family shining star. It will be very difficult. It takes a very less opportunity, or probability will be very less to get someone from these families that will get to this level. Again, I mean, look at the driver, look at their personal aides, and some of these people, they are out of job. They are basically out of nothing. Those who have placed their hopes on them, it's shattered. Yeah. It's so terrible.
Tanko, I mean, I wonder reflecting of anything. I mean, look at how, in terms of how everyone has come together to celebrate these 8 heroes. Really, that's what they are, going about their duty, because they died in line of duty. They were working for the state when they passed on. I wonder how you reflect on the collegiality, with the way everybody has come together, despite religion, political class, whatever the views may be. There's a certain sense that, listen, these are people that work for us on our behalf and died because of us, and for which reason they must be celebrated.
Very well. If you look at their lifestyle, I mean, these 5 senior government officials, you come to this conclusion that these were men who meant business for the good people of Ghana. I mean, they dedicated their whole life to the development of the country. If you take Dr. Sapon, for instance, it was at FEC meeting on Tuesday that we decided that he should represent the party at the function. He didn't reject it.
So it was on Tuesday for the flight to be the helicopter taking off on Wednesday. They decided that he was the one representing the NDC.
The NDC, at the FEC meeting, we decided that he should represent it, because the national chairman indicated he had already had a program that he wanted to attend, so he couldn't go. And the general secretary also said it was too short because they had already invited him for another program somewhere. So we resolved that Dr. Sapon, you are from Ashanti region. You know the terrain well. So he represents the party. He didn't hesitate. And he was a type in activity that he was asked to go and represent the party, Dr. Sapon will really go without even blinking an eye. Not knowing that we're just wishing him goodbye like that. So terrible. After that, Mutala, he was my junior at the training college. He met me at the teacher training college. That's where we started our relationship. And when I was the director of elections in Northern Region, he became an MP for Nantong and later on Tamale Central. I prosecuted the elections for him and all that. So we knew each other all this while. Just last week, we were discussing how to help the young people in the party, kind of help that we can bring so that they also feel part of the governance structure. He was passionate about youth development. And it's so terrible, it's so terrible. And I know each of them meant good for the country. And they laid their life in the course of developing the country.
Julius, let me come to you on this. I was asking Tanko in terms of how everyone has come together, reflecting on their lives, and just your views. I know the state is going to decide on certain things, but how do you think we can celebrate them, all of them, not just the ministers, not just the public officials, these soldiers, young soldiers, everybody? How can we honor them in a way that truly shows a country that is really gratitude about how they went about their duties and how they passed, working for all of us?
Well, one thing that is obvious is that take Dr. Omani Boama, for example, take the Honorable Murtala Mohammed, for example, take these young officers who have dedicated themselves to the service of the Republic, for example. Each of them were working at very critical sectors that, are very important to sustaining a state or maintaining our nationhood. Dr. Omani Boama, when he took over that office as defense minister, said that his aim was to make Ghana's military, a modernized one, which is well equipped. That vision must come to bear. The Honorable Murtala is a man who was truly committed to environmental justice. It is not because that was the only political office readily available to him and he took it. No, it's a thing he deeply believes in. He says he's a Rastafarian without hair, and one of the things they believe in is protecting the environment, and he took up that role to do that. I think that as a people, we must make sure that these visions that drove them in the various offices they held come to bear. The officers who were military personnel, Ghana military needs some improvement. We need to do that to honor them. And as a people, we must be united in this period. As the president said, our unity is the only true tribute that we can give to them. We must do that. So that is what we must do, Kwaku. That is what we must do. We must stay united as a people and make sure that these visions that drove them, come to life. And we must remember their families in these moments. We must remember their families, those who depend on them. We must remember all of that as a country.
So 055-1111-997, 055-1111-997. All of you listening, if you had any encounter with any of them, the military, the crew, you knew anything about them, you have fond memories of them, anything you know about them, please do send us a WhatsApp message. We'll read them live on air for you. 055-1111-997. Again, 055-1111-997. Michael Papani actually is our colleague. He just walked in. He's been in the thick of affairs also with all of this. And the thing about this job, and running around, it robs you of the ability to just sit down and reflect, right? Because I knew a couple of these people, but because you're running around, you're covering, it's almost like you are in the middle of all of this. You're unable to reflect on some of this. Papani is here with us, and he's definitely as in line of journalism, reporting from the EC Dr. Mani Boama, quote and unquote, all the problems he created. And I don't mean this in a bad way. I mean, today he put out a statement talking about how important he was to the IPAC system. I wonder what your reflections are from knowing all of them and some of the things they did.
Kwaku, I think that I have more questions possibly than even opinions that I can even share, because I was interviewing Patricia PJ, Deputy Minority Leader, who said something that struck me very much. Kuku, if you look at the circumstances under which these people perished, you know how, I don't think that the Muslims can share in this perspective, but you know how Christians and Ghana, we at least take seeing you for the last time very seriously. And I don't mean that whilst you are alive. In fact, when you are dead, we have a special room where we put you for the entire night. People get to opportunity and pay their last respect. And in Ghana, we have something like Okelebafu. There's a community thing that you do that you can pay money, any amount you have. And this you say that this is the last money I'm giving, I'll never give you any money at all. So it hits me so much that some more people will not get to pay their last respects to some of these people the way they possibly would have deemed honorable in the least. Because if you at the IUTA, the pictures we've been painting in our head about how this happened, possibly how it happened, this body is charred, and this is very difficult. And being at the family, the homes of the families, and how they're dealing with it. The wife did not utter a word in a 20-minute conversation with the family. 20 minutes. Not a single. The wife of Omani Boama and the family at Mutala's home as well. The immediate family cannot even come out to the forecourt where individuals are here to commiserate with them. Some of them have to be given a special privilege to go inside. It's a very difficult moment. And I think that for those that are alive, this is a very good opportunity to reconcile, sit back, and prioritize and take some of your relationships very seriously. Beyond the hi, hello, that if you haven't seen somebody in a while, check on them. Somebody showed me a message of one of the deceased, and I'll mention the name, who texted the person in the morning and said, call me at 5 p.m. This is a very expectant and hopeful person, sure that this evening is a sure banker. I'll come back and we'll have this conversation. And the response was, I know how busy you are. I'll definitely call you at exactly 5 p.m. There was another at one of the ministries. 3 p.m. the person had gone. The person had not heard anything. Can you imagine how difficult that would be? That see me at 3 p.m. and the person at your ministry waiting at 3 p.m. only to be told that the person you are here to see is gone forever.
I mean, some of the stories we even hear about Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed. Ashanti Regional Minister has shared a story that the day prior to the departure, the Environment Minister, Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed, had called him to make an arrangement for a vehicle to pick him at the airport. Because apparently, initially, he was not part of those who was going to be on that helicopter. He was going to take a flight on his own, go to Kumasi, a vehicle pick him, and take him to Obasi and back like that. And then he does what he has to do. He dispatches a driver to the airport to go and wait for Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed. And then while they are there, the driver calls him because it's another event, like, oh, hello, Minister, I'm waiting for the Honorable Minister. You said I should go and pick. He's not here.
He's not here.
A couple of flights have already come in from Accra. He's not part of the people. So what's going on? The minister says calls and calls and calls and calls. The number is not going through.
Tomorrow definitely.
Only to learn later on that this helicopter that just crashed, that he has just been told, the man was on it.
Tomorrow is definitely not assured for anyone. But I know that for Omani Boama, for instance, if you look at the things that he's done in just 6 months, the budget for the defense military, for instance, has shot up by 60%. That is some big assurance, some turnaround for the military. And if you've been in the media space, you know that the military hasn't spoken to the media properly in a very long time. That was changing. In fact, those that they knew for a fact that their documents were terrible, he didn't say we were sacking them. They were finding alternative ways to regularize their stay. This is a very thoughtful person, a very person who was thinking far and near and generally about everybody. And it's sad that we have to lose 8 very good individuals this sad way.
Dr. Koloteba, because you're a physician, let me do this with you. I mean, there are families that are going through such immeasurable grief and you cannot quantify it. Those of us who are not familial relations with these people, even us, the way we feel it, these are family, what kind of support can they get in terms of being able to deal with this grief, the mental torture that this will be, thinking about how their husbands, their daughters, their sons, their brothers, their family, how they, I mean, sometimes you try to imagine it, and it just gives you that much mental torture. How can we all assess them? Of course, those of us in this, we need to act responsibly by not sharing irresponsible images all over on social media. But what can we all do? I mean, particularly, especially the state, to try and get these people a kind of psychological support that they need to be able to get through this?
Well, thank you very much. I must say that in instances, in situations like this, a lot of people go through both psychological and even psychiatric conditions. So we have one we call the post-traumatic stress disorder. And a lot of people, when you hear them talk, you know a lot of people are going through it. A lot will be going through depression. You can imagine what the immediate families will be going through. Some will be going through denial. Some will be having nightmares. Some may be having insomnia or sleepless night. All these have effects on the mental health and even the physical health of the people. And so in instances like this, I want to suggest that intentionally the state will need to deploy the clinical psychologists we have, the psychiatrists, and assign them to the family so that they can give them what we call psychotherapy. And you can give them counseling. They can take them through emotional support. We need that support. So I'm calling on the government and probably maybe the Ghana Medical Association on its own and the Ghana Psychological Association have to, on their own, assign professional to the immediate family of these people. As a nation, we also need such talks in the media speak. People should tell us how we can, because I can tell you it's not been easy for even those of us who are doctors. And I want you to know, but the class that Dr. Manibwa belongs to, class of 2000, and the sentiment, it's not been easy for even medical doctors. It's not been easy. And so we need everybody to come on board. And I'm calling on the GME, the Ghana Psychology, they should assign professional to the immediate family.
Right. Philip, tomorrow there's a night of reflection on the lives of all these persons, out of a state burial exactly a week from today. And I'm not sure if you'll be there or anything of the sort, but just before we wrap up, the kind of how can we ensure that these gentlemen, their legacies live on? They get the support they need. The soldiers, some of them, just their families just giving birth, their wives just give birth. People are, I mean, it's such a difficult thing, and making sure that they get all that is necessary for sustenance.
As you stated earlier, government, of course, would come with what is necessary or what we need to do. But it's my prayer, and I'm very, very sure that this death we have recorded, the first time in the history of our republic, would not be one of those funerals, or will not be having such memorials to say that we get to remember them every 6th of August, and then that ends it. We need to honor these individuals. At least as a nation, we should be able to see the need. You see, what at all is this galamsey? Just that few people come together for what friend would term as greed, to get everything illegally, and it is causing so much death, so much pain. It started with Major Mahama, and then now it is about 8 individuals who have lost their life, trying to put things together, do the right things. The best honor we can give them individually before we even look at what the nation would do is that those that are in one way or the other engaged in this illegal activity of mining, the galamsey mining, should be able to reflect on themselves, look at it from the angle that it was them trying to end this, and then their families lost all these people. I mean, it's it is something that each individual should pledge into to doing. We should all pledge that any act of illegal mining, the fight that these guys were fighting or what they were on, the mission that they were on before losing their lives, that we can't even see their flesh or their body, their dead body, to even say bye-bye to them or to say anything to them. Very devastating. I can just imagine how the family will feel that they have to send their remains to South Africa for them to be identified. Else it would have been that maybe the wounds of someone would have been sent to a different family home for burial. This is so bad. This is so great. I think that it won't be one of those stories. It shouldn't be one of those times where, because someone has lost their life, we all come out being so passionate, being very remorseful, looking at it that it is a bad thing to happen, saying all sort of motivational words, knowing, reflecting upon life. But after 2, 3, 5 days, we go back to our old codes, begin to be who we were before this death comes. We need to honor these people individually.
On the 16th of August, the right questions and the hard questions must be asked.
The day after the
when we are done with what must be done, the right questions must be asked.
Definitely.
And the solutions must come forth.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much, Michael Papani. Actually, thank you very much, Philip Sabah, Anthony Julius. Thank you very much. Hussein Ibrahim, Audu Ismail. Thank you very much. I love your submissions very much. The way you're able to blend in the people and the way you knew them. Thank you very much. This one from Delfinos, Nodo in Accra, says, respectfully, the best thing I think we should do collectively as a nation in memory of these heroes who have paid the ultimate price in an attempt at finding a solution to this environmental menace is for us to press for an immediate halt of all mining for a year, I dare say. In that period, we can think of brainstorm as a nation for what we are going to do going forward. Thank you very much. Also, Dr. Winfred Koletiba, for joining us on Ghana Connect. I'll see you again same time tomorrow, but don't miss News File tomorrow, because really very important conversations apart this will be had there. Tribute, a turning point, a national call to action, drawing the red line, tragedy to galvanize decisive action to end galamsey, and then transparent inquiry towards safety and institutional accountability. Tomorrow, 9 o'clock, with Sam Seladi and Yenini on the Joy News channel. My name is Kwaku Asante. I'll see you again same time next week.